much from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Love, I say, bring down the power. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Stop hell and damnation. Bring down the power. Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Destruction is blowing over this land. And now the earth is trembling with man's oppression of man. Now the time come to sit down and rediscover what's life. Show the world the true meaning of real love, power, not strife. Put a hand on the fire and cleanse the wicked right now. Right now. All of them who does worship, greed and vanity, must bow. Unity is the banner, so come together. I say, and this love is for freedom, it's growing stronger each day. Bring down the power of love, I say. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Stop hell and damnation. Bring down the power. Love to heal a nation. So rejoice in a rhythm of celebration. Come on. Lift your voice with a feeling of satisfaction as one. And let we move with a purpose, all freedom lovers. Hold tight. Stepping out of the darkness with one direction inside. Bring down the power of love, I say. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Stop hell and damnation. Love to heal a nation.
Wake up, rise up. It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Well, we are bringing down that power to you this morning. The power of love, the power of freedom, the power of the Almighty, and bringing us into a new day. Good morning, everybody, wherever you may be. Trinidad and Tobago, up and down the Eastern Caribbean. People who are streaming all around the globe, good day to you. And of course, thank you so much for making us your choice each and every day, getting up with us. Let me say much thanks to the Heavenly Father, bringing us together for another one. Everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing honor to you. Hoping everything is good with you in your spaces this morning. It is our Friday. The weekend is here, and we keep the doors wide open to your weekend. Thank you so much for being here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean, and this is where we take you above and beyond.
To sit down and rediscover what's life. Show the world the true meaning of real love power.
Of course, this is your Get Up and Go. We welcome everybody on this Friday morning to the Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
It's a Friday, baby.
Stuck on you.
Hoppa.
I've got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose.
Doesn't know.
Yes, I'm on my way.
DJ Cassidy on the remix, baby.
Needed a friend.
Hey.
And the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end.
South Africa to the world.
Yes, I'm on my way.
Shake what your mama gave ya.
Mighty glad to stay.
Hey. Your weekend starts right here, baby.
Right here, baby. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Breakfast Show. Good morning, Richard, wherever you are this morning. And of course, good morning, Wendell.
Morning, Sir Charles. Morning, Richard. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It is indeed Friday morning. We weren't here last week Friday, were we? No, we were not. It was a holiday. But we're here this Friday. Happy to be in the land of the living. I have just a few birthdays already. Let me just get that out of the way. Kino Romeo used to be a counselor in Port of Spain. Chucky Gordon was a former Calypso monarch. Happy birthday, Chuck. Wayne Walcott, my cousin who lives out there in Brooklyn. Raul Edwards, Wendy Lewis, Nick Suraj, and Natasha Grimes. They are all celebrating birthdays today. Today, of course, is Friday, March 27th.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just losing track of the days, you know. So if you're celebrating a birthday today or over the weekend, which is a long weekend, have an absolutely fantastic time. Don't overdo it, but just be safe. All right?
But we've been having some holidays because last weekend, as I said, it was the Friday, and we went into the long weekend. Then we're here this week. They're taking us into Monday for a long weekend. And then next week, I didn't even realize Easter was Friday already.
Yeah, you're going straight into a long weekend, the longest weekend.
The longest weekend that we're going to get from Friday.
Yeah. So the Friday and the Monday.
So only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're here next week.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the following week, we still have a day off again too.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the following week will be Easter Monday.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, shucks. Yeah.
So we have a Monday and Friday this week.
Wow.
Next week is a Monday and Friday off. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that how life's supposed to be?
Trinidad and Tobago, boy. Wow. In spite of all of the other things that are happening, only see how nice we are.
I'm telling you.
Oh, boy.
I'm telling you.
Wonderful, wonderful place.
Yeah. And I generally travel for Easter, and I am not traveling this year. As I say, I generally travel. But I have not. I didn't do it last year, coming to think of it, and I'm not doing it this year. Is that crazy? That after years of going somewhere for Easter, I just suddenly. I know why. Anyway.
Well,
this
life
weekend is Carifta Games though in Grenada. You know, so who knows? I might end up in Grenada.
When this weekend?
No,
next weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't plan anything because of my passport situation, but now that I get it back, I can do something about it.
Yeah. Well, you have wrote a bun.
Yeah. Pages to stamp up. Oh yes.
And that is so fantastic. You know, let me say good morning to all our SEA students and their parents who probably must be more nervous than them yesterday. You know, but you guys made it through. You guys made it through, and you're moving forward. So let's see what will happen in the next month or two in between there. Wishing everybody all the best, man. So a lot of happy faces. You know, the news gets predictable on certain days. You know exactly what it's going to be like. You know, we have a pattern. We like politicians, I suppose. The politics. We just know certain days what will happen, so the news will reflect. Like last night, all the TV stations going to the different schools and talking to the children, and but nice. I'm just happy to see the relief on some of their faces.
Yes. But we have a lot of pretty bright, articulate children now, because I mean, when they interview them, they are very well spoken. You know, and I guess it's a random pick when they pick on these children to speak, and they're always very well spoken. You know. So, but all the best and true to all the children that said. I don't know. I didn't see any interview with the Minister of Education. I may have missed it. You know, I may have missed it, but I didn't see any interview with him.
Yeah, I myself, I can't recall.
Kind of quiet, eh? He's a kind of quiet person, eh?
Yeah, he seems to be. Some people within this administration that, they just like to be out of that limelight. I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's a bad thing, but it's a thing.
Well, you would think our education minister would always be in the limelight because of what's been happening in schools. But he's been very quiet. He's been very low-key.
And he makes his statements, and but you don't see too much of him.
Yeah. Anyway, good morning, Dr. Is Michael Dowlat is his name, Minister of Education. And we had always had access to ministers of education, if you remember. Anthony Garcia was always willing to be on the show. And so too, well, Nyan Gatsby Dolly, I think after a while she didn't want to be, and I think I know why, but she was also pretty accessible during her stint. Who else? Who am I missing? Dr. Tim Gopi Singh was always accessible too when he was Minister of Education. And that's it. We haven't had much more ministers of education prior to that. Was Estelle Jean.
Yeah, but I just find that within the administration as it is right now, this administration, our ministers don't really like to be in the limelight too often. You don't get to speak to much of them. You don't see them even in other places talking much. Always.
The Minister of Sport certainly he's never even responded to any of my messages.
The Minister who?
The Minister of Sports. What?
Who's that?
What? He has never responded to my messages.
We don't even know who some of them are because you don't see them, you don't hear them, Only when some bacchanal happen, then you'll be able to really hear and somebody maybe, but other than that, you really don't hear them.
Yeah.
Very low key, The only person that we see on a regular basis on the television and stuff with certain interviews is the finance minister.
Yeah.
No, but then we don't even see Dr. Munilal as much as we used to see him before. It looks like I used to see him more in opposition than in government.
Well.
Dr. Munilal, good morning. Yeah.
Well, he will have a lot of. He should have a lot to say now. With all what's happening in the energy industry, he should have a lot to say now. Anyway, good morning, Dean. No, he's not Dean. Terry, how are you?
You're talking to me?
It's only you now jump on.
I took you into the stream. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Sir Charles. And of course, good morning to our viewers and listeners all across the planet in whatever time zone. Good morning to you out of Trinidad and Tobago and the breakfast show. Of course, it's Friday, so put a smile on your face. It's also the closing of school. Well, some schools have closed already for Easter vacation. So that should give us some relief on the roads. If you're on the road often, you should put a smile on your face. So your commute will be a little bit easier. Not dramatically easy as it used to be, but a little bit easier. So yeah, heading into Easter vacation because Easter is next weekend. And of course, just in case you didn't know, today is World Theatre Day. So happy World Theatre Day to the planet. And of course, it's a special, being involved in theatre. Happy World Theatre Day to all of the actors, actresses, and all people working in the theatre industry in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, so good. A very poignant statement you made there in the end, Richard. What is that? To live your creative life, you must not be afraid of being wrong. Is that what I read there just now?
Yeah.
I like that.
So happy World Theatre Day, not only from RSR Production, but of course the Breakfast Show team, the theatre people across the planet.
Yes, happy World Theatre Day.
And for those of you who aspire to be theatre, a lot of people aspire to be actors or dancers, and singers and stuff like that. And sometimes, life have you end up being, because of life, you end up being bank teller in Republic Bank or, working in a ministry somewhere, or working wherever you were working, and you give up on that dream that you had a long time ago. It's never too old to try and re-engage in your dream.
Or try to do both like you did.
Yeah. So that's what I say, but re-engage in your dream, whatever it is, or whatever it was.
Yeah, but it's really nice, and it's a good recognition. So I'm happy that you did it that way, man. Nice, excellent.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still maintain there's nothing to beat America Dance. Nothing anywhere that could beat America Dance.
So there are some things of the past that we hold on to that it can't be this or that it can't be that way. People always do that, I suppose.
And I want to say the original American Dance. Whilst the actors who replaced the actors the other day didn't do a bad job, there's nothing like Glenn Davis and Cracky. They're irreplaceable, I'm sorry to say. More than Glenn Davis, the original Santa Claus, of course.
And of course, we will eventually pass on the baton, so to speak. So our younger cast is eventually going to take over all the parts of America Dance, because it's a piece of theatre, I think, that can live on.
Yes, for sure.
In Trinidad and Tobago's theatre history. So eventually it'll be a totally new cast that will do it in years to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, so happy World Theatre Day. And of course, we can go straight into good news, I guess, Sir Charles.
I think so.
I also want to shout something out. When's the last time you've been to Trinidad?
I've been to Trinidad like 2 years ago.
I spoke to Gary Griffin. He said,
Gary, the commissioner, ex-commissioner of police. He's the commissioner.
Yeah, no, he's not. I did an interview with him over there, and I was asking him why life so easily exposable. But I'll talk about that. But he
Gary's
was
a good guy. We had a little running on.
He said that. He said he came to the hotel room.
Good guy. I love the people of Trinidad. Trinidad is like my second home. I don't want to disclose my favorite place. I mean, Maraval. Everyone know I'm always in Maraval, or Trin City, or Chegonas, or San Fernando Valley, or up in the mountains. But I will not disclose my favorite place to be and rest my head. But Trinidad is one of the places that Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia, visited.
Really? I didn't know that.
On his visit to Jamaica. And the Abuna of Trinidad and the Abuna of Ethiopia. The Abuna is like the head of the church. They have done their best over the years to make sure the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which is the only true religion that we adhere to, is fundamentally revered, and the youths understand that there's a place where the teachings is not corrupted, nor is it polluted. It is 2,000 years old and it's still intact. So the truth, if you want it, So the people of Trinidad and I have a good relationship. I love it. I love the place immensely. I love the people because they've always given me the opportunity to express myself musically. And above all things, I love that. But the people, I love them immensely. The whole Caribbean, a matter of fact, but Trinidad have a special place in my heart due to the connection between the Emperor, Haile Selassie, and that divine island.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
This podcast is about shedding knowledge and imparting knowledge and shining a light on dark areas.
Trinidad is nice. My wife is Trinidadian, so I got to be careful.
If memory also serves me right, there is a mat, a carpet, hanging in City Hall with Emperor Haile Selassie. It used to be there. I don't know if it's still there. So if any councillor listening or anybody from City Hall listening, is that still there at City Hall? It used to be in the committee room that turned into, I don't know what kind of room now, just a storage room. But there was a huge mat from Emperor Haile Selassie when he visited, because any head of state or any dignitary who visited Trinidad and Tobago back in the day always went to City Hall, you know. Don't ask me why. When that changed, it just stopped. Nobody's visited the mayor and the council after a while. You know, the last person I think of note who visited the mayor and council was Prince Charles, who is now King Charles. But anybody who came into Trinidad and Tobago, they all went to City Hall at one point in time on an official visit. That stopped after a while. Don't ask me why. And don't ask me under whom either. Can't remember.
Maybe people stopped coming.
No, people came. They came and they went either to the Prime Minister's residence or to Diplomatic Center or to wherever, and they stopped coming to City Hall. City Hall stopped being part of the official visits of heads of state or people of note, you know. But Prince Charles came in 2003. How did you pick this up? I can't remember. 2002 or somewhere there, or thereabouts. No, it is 2000. February 2000, he came. And he was the last person, I think, of that.
That's a long time, but
yeah. We had Brian Lara visiting. When Brian Lara broke the record, they brought him to City Hall. The council met him and so on, and the mayor. You know, there's certain things that, as I say, City Hall was always part of, and it just stopped.
right.
Let me greet the people in the chat. They are part of us on a morning here, and we always greet them.
Yeah, but for people who don't know, just before you go, for people who don't recognize that's Buju Banton there, for the people who are listening on the stream, talking about Trinidad and his visit to Trinidad. Good guy.
And the favorite place that he used to rest his head, he said he will not reveal it.
Yeah. A lot of these Jamaican artists basically live in Trinidad. You know, I remember one time I was actually walking down Federal Street and ran into Barrington Levy. Normal.
He used to be here often. I remember a Barrington Levy concert from my courting days. Yeah. I didn't used to go to those kind of things, but I went following woman now. You waiting. Oh, Lord. Robert Allen says good morning. A very blessed good morning to all. Thank God it's Friday. It's fantastic Friday and the beginning of a long weekend. Margaret Thomas says good morning. Mrs. R is up. Ooh, what? Richard, you see what's going on here? 12 minutes past 12. She sent a greeting.
Yeah, good morning, Mrs. R.
You know what that is? I used to try and tell you sorry, you know, about yesterday.
No, it's not.
I tell you, I know these people, you know.
No, you know who you are with. She suffers from no such insecurity.
Anya again, like boiled corn today, Mrs. Ara. Anya, watching every message you send. I'm reading in between your lines. Anthony Tinto says, grand rising to the breakfast crew. And all Tinto called me with a kind of weird message yesterday. You know. Tinto, I don't know, you need to burn that bush and not smoke it. Kenny Lala says good morning. Beefy Smith, Eunice Dublin, Odell Guy, Ava Smith also says good morning. Deborah Noel Surrett. I would like to send birthday greetings to my good friend Paolo. His birthday is on Saturday. So happy early birthday, Paolo. Tomorrow is your birthday, from Deborah Noel Surrett and from the breakfast crew. Marcia Rock sends good morning. Apollonius, Boy Bidesi from Debe, Diane Payne, Maria Cellier, Manuela Peters, CJ from New York. Morning, CJ.
Morning, CJ.
Marlon Motley from North Valsayn.
Morning, Marlon.
Nicola McNichols, Pamela O'Connor, Robert Taylor, Norris Ferguson, Prabha Ramdial, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr from Arima, Carol Guevara, Nicola McNichols. Hi, Wendell. Yes, I am a teacher. My students wrote yesterday. All right. I was out the house by 5:30. So you get a day to rest today, Nicola. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Gavin Frank. Nicola is also reaching out again. Kathy Ann Charles. Morning, Kathy Ann. Special morning to Arlene. Kathy Ann, my name is Wendell and not Stephen. Stephen is well, you know who Stephen is, right? Joyce Phillip, Scorpion Pepper. Thank God it's Friday. Merle McCormick, I haven't heard from you for a little while. Arlene Joseph, that's Robert's wife. Hey, how are you going, Arlene? Nice to have you on the chat. Carol is singing. Debbie Modest, Pamela Grimshaw, Felix Kazo, Hilary Zan, that's Nazir Ali from Barrackport, Michael Cadet, Carla Hercules, Lester Cradwell, Kurt Hope from Nashville, Tennessee, Trini Merle Kitchen from Oshawa, Ontario, Beauty Culture, Shirma Paul, Margarita Chow, James Kamau, Kathy Ann Townsend. Morning, Kathy Ann. The Minister of Education is not very good. I don't know him. We don't know him at all. So we don't even know if he's good or bad. Michael Robinson from Yokohama, Japan. Hazel Manning was, yes, that's true. She was. I missed her. Colted Finch. Good morning, Carol Guevara. Okay. Katian. Okay. Colted Finch. What are you saying there? True to Charles. People don't know 3/4 of the ministers, and there's so many of them to remember. Rena Jennings, good morning. Damian and Amanda Edwin, blessed morning to the panel and all of TNT. Yes, Richard, happy Theatre Day to all in this professional discipline. Beauty Culture. Happy World Theatre Day. Lester Cradwell is also congratulating Richard. Scorpion Pepper, fantastic compilation, Richard and company. I love that saying. I usually tell my students mistakes are proof they are learning. Scorpion Pepper is also talking about Mary. David McCarthy, fabulous Friday to all. Salutations to the thrilling trio. Eva Smith, happy World Theatre Day. Amanda Edwin is on the chat now, Richard, saying good morning and happy World Theatre Day. Wait, I gotta read this one more. Happy World Theatre Day to all the creative out there, especially to my handsome, super talented, award-winning actor and producer and cousin, Richard Ragubasi.
Thank you, Amanda.
Amanda Edwin is also, I agree with Randall, the original America dance was the greatest of all time. True, eh? I have a picture with that cast. You remember that picture, Richard?
Yes, I still have it actually.
Yeah. I was proud to take a picture with that cast. Nicola McNichols, happy World Theatre Day. Colton Finch also wishing happy World Theatre Day. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona, if memory serves me correctly, Geoffrey Holder was a great Trinidad and Tobago actor. He was. He was. Trinidad Margot, good morning. Alistair Hart is up early from San Fernando. Claire Lendor Rollins, more wishes on happy World Theatre Day. Valerie Mendoza, you wake up late, girl. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera. It's especially when I'm at home doing it. I really don't know if the lighting is stinging. It's pixelating in my background a lot, but my shoulders and so on. I don't know what's going on with it. I'll have to go back to my external camera. Bernadette Yates, good morning. Joanne Carrington is also saying the Twinning Association was linked to City Hall, St. Catharines in Canada. So true. We were also twinned with Kingston, St. Andrew in Jamaica, and another one. We twinned with Ghana, with Kumasi also in Ghana. All those things were done, and I don't know what's happening with them again. Suzanne Jessup, blessed good morning, Sir Charles, Richard and Wendell from Suzanne, Suzette, and Miss Gemma. Happy first anniversary to Net Radio. That's coming up very soon. Trini Gets Fit, Kazim Mohammed, morning. Time for Penny to step down. Why you reach J. Kazim? Florence Bazi, morning, King and Chatters, and Prabha Ramdial also wishing happy World Theatre Day to Richard. She said she will be at your play on Saturday. So
okay, great.
Go backstage and check him out after. Sometimes they have little stuff in the back there that they don't have in front, right?
That's the red limon area.
Aussie Marino also says good morning, right? So those are all my greetings. All the greetings.
Okay. So people on the WhatsApp this morning, let me say good morning to Pauline, who was up very early. Good morning to Kent in Laventille. Archbishop Ashton Clark out of Canada. Peter Wilson, St. James people. Fifi in Addis Ababa, awareness coming soon. Captain Ron in Orlando. Good morning to you. Ron DeSantis, good day to you, my friend. Judith in Tobago. Have a fantastic day, Judith. We're going to come by you on the breakfast show. All right. Mr. Billy on the magazine. Although CJ in New York, good morning to you. Mahi out of Columbus, Ohio. Good day to you. Zina out of
Mariba. So kind of special. Like that greeting just now there.
Which one is that? Zina?
Mahi.
Mahi special man.
Okay. You never tell us how.
Well, I can't tell you how. Okay, see you this morning. Good morning to Zina. All right. Good morning to Chris out there in Kirap. Sexy Aisha. Good day to you. Farrokh away. Good morning. And who else I gave away? Frank out there in Aruka. Good morning. Foxy is up early and Sexy Reds. They come in one after the other. Foxy and Sexy Reds went down. Wow.
Hey.
All right. So, Gael is on?
Yeah. Yes, we are on. First thing.
Beautiful. So, good morning to the Gael family. Thank you very much for being here with us on the breakfast show. We're going for that break. Running a little late with it, but trust me, we will get through with everything because today is a Friday. Right? We're coming back.
Now, due to phenomenal public demand, Scandal in Cedrus now comes to Cipriani College for 2 nights only. Saturday the 28th of March at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 29th at 6:30 p.m. This is theater at its finest and funniest. Don't miss it. Box office opens at Cipriani College on Monday the 23rd of March, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Cedrus, Cipriani College. We come in.
Scandal in Cedrus. Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
We could go straight into the newspaper headlines. When it's done, though, I want to give a little story, a police story again. I had to laugh sometimes at the kind of crap I just had to go through, you know. But I'll give it after, and then I'll tell you all what it's all about. Fruit from a poison tree. That's one of the stories in today's Express Online. Opposition Chief Whip Marvin Gonzalez is speaking, I think, and I see a picture of Wayne Sturge. Sobers insist TNT excluded from CARICOM decision. My understanding is that vote only took place with the heads, and by the time the vote was taking place, our head had already left, right? And so I don't know how that story will mushroom. But guess what? It's already done. Hard luck, Trinidad and Tobago. Lois back for 4-day fling, and that's Evan Lewis, and that's talk about cricket. Other stories trending in today's Express Online. It says Opposition Chief Whip Marvin Gonzalez has called for Minister of Defense Wayne Sturge to be removed from office and from the government, citing allegations linking him and the ruling UNC administration to slain businessman Danny Grell. Here we go again. Suspects rescued. They jumped overboard during kidnapping escape. Radar spotted boat with kidnapped granny, 10 arrested. Which radar? Opposition slams PM over CARICOM stance, calls her unfit to lead. Stush Cat's 4-day adventure is over. The Stush Cat.
This cat is beaten over the last few days.
You know, Trinidad and Tobago is just some of the most is the most fantastic place for news. You know, you really want to get a good laugh, read Trinidad and Tobago news. You know, or if you want to get depressed, you could read it too. Murder Jordan Burke mourned by his college. Those are all trending stories in today's Express Online. Right?
All right, so I'll move straight to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Chilling, kidnapping, dramatic rescue at sea after elderly landlady nabbed at home. 6 Venezuelans among 11 held as cops report major cross-border crime breakthrough. And that was really good news in terms of getting back that lead. It is such an incredulous story. Yeah. And of course there was footage of it on social media yesterday. And I think there were also Venezuelans that assisted the police, the DTPS, in identifying the guys who perpetrated the kidnapping. So the Venezuelan community that is resident, and they're also assisted in identifying some of the perpetrators. And
I think some of our tenants are in fact Venezuelans.
Yeah, and then of course the dramatic rescue at sea. And 2 tried to jump into the Gulf of Paria. I don't know what they were thinking, and they had to be rescued, and of course were held. But I mean, it's really good work in terms of the security services in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, that's really great work, TTPS.
So Charles, you're getting all kind of hints from Richard to put on the applause.
But that's great work on the TTPS. So a lot of times we may criticize them, but when you do good work, you have to be congratulated on it. And the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service really good work together with the Coast Guard. So I mean, it was a good security operation on behalf of the security services in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, Sir Charles.
So, well-deserved applause to the security services in terms of that issue.
And you're going to give us a story about them just so. But go ahead.
Yeah. Second cop hauled in on the SOE PDO. Farley, majority of U.S. troops gone from Ireland. OWTU, new company taking helm in Guaracara refinery push. An ex-minister, transparent refinery restart process. In the business news, how employers actually evaluate candidates today. Discuss fiscal policies with business. So says, I think it was Dominic Hadid, the head of Blue Waters, who said, the government should work with business in terms of sometimes coming up with fiscal policies, because you really want businesses to be prosperous because you get more money.
Yeah.
The more money businesses make, the more money you actually get. Rather than if you be punitive, then it gets less money. Some businesses close down, you get less money. So it's counterintuitive if you don't work with business. So former tourism minister, hotel development at tipping point, straightening out the strait, whatever that means, I suppose the Strait of Hormuz, and building what the system withheld. All of these are trending stories in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. So now you know.
So let me give you this story as quick as possible. You remember this story about the policeman in St. James who gave me a ticket the other day? And I came on radio and I did something I don't normally do, call somebody an idiot. You understand? I called him an idiot. Well, he's an even anyway. So I'm living on the Western Main. I born and grew up on Western Main, right? I'm now on the Western Main, occupying a space on the Western Main.
Just now, Wendell. So Charles, do you intend to make me the star of the show for the entire show? I just want to know. Continue, Wendell.
All right. St. Charles was his step away again. Anyway, so I've been on the Western Main Road on that spot that I am, where Rum Boxes and so on, other things there, for the last 34 years. Okay? 34 years. The only driveway I have is on the Western Main Road. Now, a lot of people on the Western Main Road have driveways. Either they live in there or their business is there. They have driveways that they come out of, and they either go left or right on Western Main Road. For 30-something years, we're doing that. Yes, Wednesday morning, I came out of my driveway. After I finished radio, I came out of my driveway and I turned up the Western Main Road, which is what I do almost all the time. I either turn left or I turn right. If I'm going in town, I turn right. If I'm going down Diego Martin, I turn left. So I turn right and driving up the main road. Officer Bulbs steps out into the middle of the road and puts up his hand and pulls me aside. I said, what I do now? I said, obviously this man towed it, and somebody went back and tell him I called him an idiot. And he marked my vehicle and he towed it. So I pull aside, I wind on my glass. Well, actually my glass was down already. He said, you know you made an illegal drive there? I said, what? He said, yeah, you cross a double white line. You can't turn right to come up the main road if you're coming out your driveway. You have to turn left. And, well, he didn't go on to say what else, but he said you could only turn left. I watched him so. I said, he obviously looking to provoke me this morning, but he's not going to get a response from me. So after he finished, say what he had to say. I said, you done? You done with me? And I put back up my glass and I drive. I have to check. I have to check to find if he's right. And guess what? He right. You understand? Because I called an official from the Ministry of Works who say you're not supposed to cross a double white line at any point. Of course, my attorney has a different view to the Ministry official, right? My attorney say, of course, that the law is you don't cross the double line if you overtake it. Yeah. In other words, if you're driving up the double white line, you're not supposed to cross. I don't see the law being applied in a case where if you're coming out of your own driveway to go either right or left, there's nothing to prevent you from doing that. But the ministry officials say, yes, you're not supposed to do that at any point in time. So for people on the Western Main Road, on Tragrit Road, on Arpita Avenue, and anywhere else there's a double white line and you have to come out your driveway, you can't cross that double white line. Going up in that other direction. I let all you know that, right? That is according to the ministry official. Of course, if I get a ticket like that, I challenge it. You understand? Because it makes no sense because they break the line where there are streets crossing, right? Like if a street is entering the main road. Because if you're coming out of Romeo Street, you can't turn either right or left. So they break the line right there on the main road. So allow to help regulate that. But they don't break it for people's driveways. You understand?
Isn't there another family property on the other side of the road too, Wendell?
Yes,
family?
Yes.
Right. So the problem is easily solved. What you have to do is go to Kaleidoscope, get some black paint. And what you're doing is you're carrying black paint to the house across the road. But you accidentally trip in the middle. And some of the black paint will fall. And then when you're crossing back, you trip again and some of the black paint will fall. And then it becomes a broken.
So Richard,
look, the line is broken. It's no longer.
No, we have some laws in this place called Trinidad and Tobago that is so crazy. Imagine all the drivers on the Western Main Road now. If you come out of your driveway, you have to go in the direction of the driveway.
You have to turn left or turn. No, you will always have to turn left.
No, if you're on the other side, you have to turn left. Right, you always have to turn left.
You always have to turn left.
Yes. You cannot turn right.
You always have to turn left.
Yes.
Yeah, you always have to turn left. Yeah.
But the thing about it is that there's nothing saying to you that you can't turn right.
No, there is nothing.
No, they're saying the lines in the road are telling you that. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, the line is a traffic symbol.
Yeah.
You want to call that?
Okay.
They say the double line is saying you can't turn right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should call her Dandy. I wonder if you will take a call.
I think what you could probably do as a community is approach the TTPS or the Ministry of Works to get some sort of exception for the residents on that stretch, because it's a long stretch.
You know what they're doing? They're asking the police to be, how I should put it, what was the word? Understanding, but I'm looking for a particular word.
Exercise discretion.
Exercise discretion. That's what they're hoping. That the police will exercise discretion. Not Bulls. He ain't exercising. He don't give me no ticket that day.
And what I'm saying, do it in a formal way that says, okay, from whatever street to whatever street, right turns are permitted when coming out of your driveway. So something like that, you know?
Yeah. Maybe after
imagine you have an emergency.
But
and you had to come out your driveway. You had to go around, you know. You can, and you need to get somewhere fast.
No, if people have an emergency, they will turn right. But what I'm saying, because at emergency points, people start to think of what ways, especially if it's a medical emergency, you're going to turn right, or you're not going to take on that at that point because it's going to be an emergency. But what I'm saying is, rather than have the issue of breaking the law every time you turn right, whichever direction, try as a community to approach the Ministry of Works is it Ministry of Works?
Yes.
Ministry of Works and the TTPS in that area to come to some sort of concession for the residents in that area.
Yeah,
that's what the state should be engaged in collaboration. And if an entire community is saying, look, this is a little unfair to us, they should listen.
Guys, hold your thoughts right there. Let's do what I did, when they'll craft the poll, and we see if we can still get 1 or 2 calls before 7 o'clock.
Sure.
Did you know a faith once forced into hiding now has a national holiday in its honor? Spiritual Shouter Baptist Liberation Day is a celebration of freedom, faith, and cultural pride. Every year, the country pauses to mark a powerful journey from prohibition to recognition. Churches hold special services filled with prayer and praise. The sound of worship now rings out freely. Bells that were once silenced now call communities together. Members wear distinctive robes and headpieces rich with symbolism. The colors and styles represent faith, purity, and spiritual authority. Processions and gatherings create a strong sense of unity. Families attend together, passing heritage to the next generation. Young people learn the history and importance of the struggle. The day is both spiritual and cultural. It connects the past with the present. The holiday also symbolizes the right to worship without fear. It reminds the nation that cultural differences are part of its strength. Reflection and gratitude remain at the heart of the day. Elders see it as a promise kept. Youth see it as a legacy to protect. The celebration belongs to the entire country, a story of faith that endured, and a people who stood firm. Spiritual Shouter Baptist Liberation Day is more than a holiday. It is a reminder that faith, culture, and freedom are worth defending. If you didn't know, now you know. Stay tuned to New Era TT Radio, net radio, for more great content.
All right.
As I said, with that original content, boy, I'm such a...
We're working when.
Oh. We've made life easy for him by separating all the chats. Yeah, I can't come up with a proper poll this morning, guys. I sent one based on Marvin Gonzalez's call, because that is a story that's, as I said, a lot of people are looking at askance. That story of what's happening in Sangigandi, Toko Sangigandi. A lot of people are looking at it with a cookie eye.
What is happening in Toko Sangigandi?
In terms of the killings and so on. You understand? The Danny Guerra killing, the killing of his worker, the threats to his daughter-in-law, and all the manner of things, that stories that have been just running alongside other stories over the last couple weeks since Danny Guerra was killed. Well, since he was released one from detention order, and the new SAE was called. Then he was killed. Then a worker of his was killed. Then his place was raided. Then his place was burglarized. It's all manner of stories running alongside that. And Marvin Gonzalez, MP, opposition MP, has called for him to be removed from government. You know, based on the allegations that are coming out. So that's the only poll I could think about this morning. But yeah, Officer Balls boy, I'm gonna tell you. You will never get me breaking that law again. That much I can tell you. But I can't speak for anybody else along the main road, because people are now going to be subjected to these tickets all over, not just the Western Main Road, Arapita Avenue, Chadwick Road, and any other place that there's a double white line. And people only choice is to come out of the driveway and go where they're going. You know?
Yeah, I think they should really get together on all that. Make a case to the ministry and see what will come out of it.
The ministry listen, the officials listen.
That is not how you do.
You do this, we will listen and we bring some.
You know how much progress we've made from the power breakfast show into the breakfast show in getting people who listen, who have a little clout to do things without making an official thing. You know how much things we get done from this show? Well, you're making jokes, yes.
All right, people, we have to take your calls. And remember, today's Friday. This is where you really get to talk plenty. Yeah? Right? If you didn't get it in the first hour, definitely in the second hour, make sure that you get it.
And the third half hour.
Yes. So come on. We have a couple minutes, and strange enough, anyhow, I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah, but the lines are open to you: 2811315 and 2995156. Right. Let me say good morning to the presidents who listen to us, CP and GP. All right, call coming in here now. Nice. Miss Sampson, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Sampson.
Right poll to be today. Do you think we're going to have the Independence Parade this year?
Well, it's a little early for that one. I saw you put it on the chat, but it's a little early for a poll like that.
Yeah. You deal with that in coming up.
I have a question. The holiday with the Shoulder Baptist, are they getting to March or that's off?
No, the march that they had asked to do has already gone. The date for that has already gone. It's not on the Baptist Day itself. They had asked for that permission.
That was last weekend.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But there's gathering in different places, you know, on that day.
I just had enough of the nonsense, and I just can't go on the next 4 years. You know, I just want something to just crash.
But it's a good thing you're not living in the US, Miss Samson. What you do? If you're living in the US, what you do?
No, I'm talking about who going to sleep and every Monday morning they get up is something new on the books.
Well, that's
my point.
And that's what I said. What happened if you was living in the US?
Well, I thank God I'm back here, but I didn't cater for this nonsense.
Well, you see, Miss Sampson, you didn't. You just said for yourself. Thank God that you are here. You're in a blessed place.
I know, but I don't need the stress. I'm in a blessed place, but I don't need the stress. Father, take the wheel, please. I can't take another 3 years.
Oh, Lord. All right, Miss.
Of course, there's another video trending with a maxi taxi driver with licensing officers. I don't know if you all saw it. It's a pretty long video where somebody else was taping, somebody inside the maxi was taping what's the encounter. And of course, it was going back and forth all the time, you know. People are because I think he ended up getting $6,400 worth of tickets, which is absolute madness. I mean, what are they trying to do, people? They're trying to provoke a situation. I don't understand it. What's going on with some of these people in uniforms now? It's like they're provoking the citizenry. Come on, man. How maxi taxi driver could get $6,400 worth in tickets. Just so. Because of how you pay that?
For talk.
And you know what people get? The dates people get in? 2033 and 2034 to go to court, you know. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
When you challenge a ticket online, you know, those are the kind of dates coming up.
Yeah, and I thought that whole online situation was to bring the thing closer and faster. Look how far down the road you're talking about. So you got a ticket now, you talk about 2033 and come on now, they can't be serious. Anyhow, Wendell, the poll, we're going for the news.
Yeah. I got another idea of another poll, but it came.
Is that real?
Huh?
Is that real? What kind of dates you getting?
2033, people calling. I heard people on our station say that's the date they get in when they go online. 2033.
But then you forget the ticket?
No, but who come into court in 2033? I mean, even if they bring it up, let's say they bring up the date, because sometimes they could bring up the date, right? Depending on the court docket, right? But that once people see that, what do you think will happen? Everybody challenging a ticket.
They should just
That's what I predicted. Remember, I said everybody was going to challenge tickets.
Devoted just to traffic matters alone. That's it.
So, people, we are going for the news at 7 o'clock. The poll is up. When did they read the poll for them already?
Do you support the call for Minister Sturge to be removed from government by MP Marvin Gonzalez? Yes or no? Right? We'll talk a little bit about the story that came up yesterday to Richard. I sent it in the chat this morning about reparations and the United States, Argentina, and Israel not supporting that call by the UN. A motion moved by Ghana. We'll talk a little bit about that in the second hour.
And the European Union states abstaining.
Yep, and the European Union states abstain. But Israel, United States, and Argentina voted against it.
The reparations. All right, so we are coming back.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Gaio Caribbean TV for Friday, the 27th of March. I'm Derek McMillan. Thank you so much for joining us. Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur says government has no plans to raise fuel prices despite rising global costs linked to tensions in the Middle East. Speaking at a TTMA event, Thakur acknowledged that oil and shipping prices have increased, raising costs for the country, which imports a portion of its fuel. However, he described the situation as a mixed blessing, noting that higher energy prices could also boost revenue from local production. Thakur said the government must balance rising costs with increased earnings, but assured that fuel prices locally will remain unchanged for now. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Muniwal also noted that higher global LNG prices could benefit Trinidad and Tobago's export earnings. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles has strongly criticized Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar over her latest stance on CARICOM. In a statement, Beckles condemned the Prime Minister's opposition to the reappointment of CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett and plans to reduce Trinidad and Tobago's financial contribution to the regional body. She warned the move could harm trade and negatively impact citizens, noting CARICOM as a major market for local goods and services. Beckles also described the Prime Minister's actions as irresponsible and said they raise serious concerns about her leadership. A 73-year-old woman abducted from her San Juan home has been rescued by the Coast Guard, with 7 men arrested in connection with the incident. Police say Tara Pelayo was taken around 7:30 p.m. for her Don Miguel Road home by 3 men and forced into a vehicle in an attack partially captured on CCTV. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara says the incident triggered a multi-agency response after intelligence suggested the suspects planned to take her out of the country. Around midnight, Pelayo was reportedly placed on a boat off Trinidad's north coast, allegedly bound for Venezuela. However, Coast Guard officers intercepted the vessel, rescued her, and detained the suspects. Police say the arrests have disrupted what they believe is a cross-border kidnapping network linked to Venezuela. Meanwhile, investigations continue into the separate kidnapping of Cody Narine, who remains missing. Businessman Dominic Hadid has criticized government tax policies, saying the state takes a large share of business earnings without enough support in return. Speaking at a TTMA event, Hadid argued that rising taxes and delayed VAT refunds are hurting companies and may be encouraging smuggling instead of increasing revenue. He called for greater collaboration, urging government to work with businesses to grow the economy. Planning Minister Kennedy Swarutsing said the concerns were fair, but noted government must fund key services, while Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku stressed that public spending requires revenue and reforms will take time. In the region, a United States military operation targeting suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean has left 4 men dead. U.S. Southern Command says the strike was carried out by Joint Task Force Southern Spear against a vessel along a known narcotics route, describing it as a lethal kinetic strike. Officials say intelligence linked the vessel to what they called designated terrorist organizations and confirmed that 4 suspected traffickers were killed. No U.S. personnel were injured. The exact location of the operation has not been disclosed. The development comes weeks after the launch of a regional counter-cartel initiative, which includes Trinidad and Tobago, signaling a more aggressive approach to drug trafficking in the region. In international news, U.S. stocks have fallen again as investor concerns deepen over the ongoing war and renewed pressure on major tech companies. The Nasdaq Composite dropped about 2.4%, pushing it into correction territory, now down roughly 11% from its recent high. The S&P 500 declined 1.7%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell around 1%. Technology stocks led the sell-off, with shares in Meta Platforms sliding after back-to-back U.S. court rulings against the company, adding to broader investor jitters. Oil prices, which had surged amid fears of supply disruptions, eased slightly after Donald Trump announced a delay on potential strikes against Iranian energy facilities until April 6th. The move, tied to ongoing talks between Washington and Tehran, offered some relief to markets, though uncertainty over the conflict continues to weigh on global investor sentiment. And that is news at this time. Stay with us for more great programming right after the break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. I said to ring up the bell for the rhapsody drum. Ring the bell down there. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Hey. It's high time that you summon up the power. This time, boss it in the air bell. Well, look, I have a story to tell. Well, it's a long, long time now we fighting for freedom. Victory bound to come. Assemble the people, we sight up the mission, and we rock the rapture rhythm. Oh, oh, ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. I said to ring up the bell for the rapture rhythm. Ring the bell down there. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Hey. So listen well, I come to deliver this word. Let the voice of the dung press be heard over the world. Let the people's story be told. Well, it's a long, long time now we come out for action. Glory days come down. I come with my bell just to second the motion. Rock the rap so rhythm. Whoa, oh, I ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. I said to ring up the bell for the rap so rhythm. Ring the bell down there. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Hey. Bring it in the House of Parliament. Bring it in the seat of government. And let it hear. Let it hear. Ring it in the House of Congress. Ring it in the Buckingham Palace. In the Kremlin and Washington. Ring it in the Vatican too, Lord. Oh, oh, I ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for
Just like that.
Ring the bell
You're
down
locked
there.
into Net Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Well, everybody, good morning to you once again, and of course, welcome to the second hour of the Breakfast Show. This is Net Radio, the TT Radio, but yeah, Net Radio, and of course, we are the heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond. Let me say good morning to Yvonne out there in Sandy Grande, who's locked on this morning with us. Nice to have you inside, Yvonne. Debbie and the crew, good morning to you. Also to my girl Terry Ann Peters, good morning to you, all right? A very special good morning to all the folks who are tuning in on Gael Caribbean TV. Good morning to Errol and his team. Thank you very much, guys, for having the breakfast show in your space. So people, a programming note for you, just to let you know that when we come off of the Gael feed, that's around 8:30 somewhere. Sometimes we go a little blind, we go a little later. I don't know if Friday might be one of those days. But guess what? You can come across and listen to us all day, every day, into the weekend, the holidays. We will be here with you. Right? Remember, we are now streaming on netradiott.com. That's NETT radio tt.com, netradiott.com. And yeah, come and check out our new site and follow all the instructions that we have there for you, right? Also, on our Facebook and YouTube channel, and also on Instagram, you can get us at Radio Trinidad. That is the handle you put in it now. Net Radio Trinidad. You get us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and you're also getting us tune in with that handle, Net Radio Trinidad. That way, guess what? You get us on all of your Google and Alexa devices. Follow, like, subscribe to our pages, and all of those pages you will see a donate support button. Just hit that, and of course support the channel. Right, support the channel to keep us up and running. What else do I need to tell you in between there? And of course, there's a very simple way also for you to send your support donations. All you have to do is text the word donate to 299-5156. That's 299-5156. And you will get the instructions as to how to donate, all right? You can also send it to 2811315. Send it to all our numbers. We'll get them any which way you take it. Anyone you can remember, you can send it here. Just text the word donate. All right, so our poll is up, and the question for you this morning: do you support the call for Minister Sturge to be removed from government by MP Marvin Gonzalez? Right. So if you support the move, the call being made by the MP Marvin Gonzalez for Mr. Stewart. Mr. Sturge, what am I saying? Where can I start from? to be removed? Yeah. It's one of those mornings. Alright, so yeah. You're voting yes or no? And when we come back, we'll tell you how you voted, right? So stay with us this morning here on Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Now, due to phenomenal public demand, Scandal in Cedros now comes to Cipriani College for 2 nights only. Saturday the 28th of March at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 29th at 6:30 p.m. This is theater at its finest and funniest. Don't miss it. Box office opens at Cipriani College on Monday the 23rd of March, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Cedros, Cipriani College. We come in.
Scandal in Cedros.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome to the second hour. This is the breakfast show, the world famous breakfast show.
Oh, indeed, it is.
Yeah, of course.
Give us a time check there, Sir Charles.
What is that?
Give us a time check there, please.
Oh, yeah, of course we will. And of course, the time in Trinidad and Tobago, just to make sure you step in time, is 20 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock.
There you go.
On the world famous breakfast show.
And tell people how they could contribute to the show.
Right, so you can go to all our social media pages, and there's a link that you will see the support donate button there, or link, and you can just click on that. You can do that through either WePay, you could do that through PayPal,
or if you're having problems with those or you're not on those platforms, you can also just text the word donate. That's all, donate to 299-5156. But guess what? You can also text it to our regular line also at 281, and we'll get it and get that information to you as to how you can donate.
All right. So you're ready to, Richard, you're writing this morning. Hey, thank you. You've stayed with us this morning. How very nice.
No, I'm not writing this morning because I'm about to log off and transfer.
Okay, so Charles, you'll have to write, right? So our poll this morning, of course, is based on the call from MP Marvin Gonzalez that Wayne Sturge has access to a lot of security information and he is a danger to the government. Those were his words, right? Minister, do you support that call for him to be removed from government? Sankofa says yes. Suzanne Jessup, yes. Tim Govaya, certainly yes. Robert Taylor, yes. Cheryl Henry didn't vote here. Diane, yes. Ava Smith, yes. The Slimy Show, yes. We got some suggestions, suppose there. Beauty Culture, yes. Bernadette Yates, yes. Finbar Collins, yes. Marlon Motley, yes. Lester Cragwell, yes. Estelita Sampson, yes. Kathy Ann Townsend, yes. Alice Sahad, yes. Carla Hercules, yes. Coulted Finch, yes. David McCarthy, yes. Ron DeSantis Jr., yes. Ron, that's you? Joseph Clement, yes. Too easy to provoke.
They call it on the man.
Too easy to provoke somebody. We used to have one who cussed somebody a day. I want he can't come nowhere near anything I put again. Watch and see. I hope you listen. Apollonius, yes. Dean Allen, yes. Susie B, yes. Rena Jennings, yes. Trini Gets Fit, yes. Deborah Noel Surratt, yes. Magic, yes. Eunice Dublin, yes. Marlene Saunders Silvers, yes. Fran Romani, yes. Sir Relic, that's a new name, yes. Avion Abraham, yes. Gemma Peters Halls, yes. Florence Bazzi, yes. Michael Robinson, yes. Sandra Baines, yes. Sandra, you didn't tell me that is actually you. Valerie Mendoza, yes. Noel Johnson, long time I haven't heard from you. No. Scorpion Pepper, yes. He is compromised. Why didn't Penny make that call? Well, Marvin Gonzalez, I think, shadows as national security, so maybe that's why. Trini Merle Kitchen, yes. Carol Guevara, yes. Kazim Mohammed, yes. Gregory Boyer, yes. Morning, Gregory. Kenny in Harlem, yes. Ingrid didn't vote here. She would like to see Richard on the global stage and screen. He might set up a little, you never know if he have an OnlyFans page somewhere along the line, you know. Maybe it goes under something else.
OnlyFans. Huh? Okay.
OnlyFans like you? Isn't that what OnlyFans is all about? Where people are only fans? Isn't that what it is?
Just for clarification, I have no such fan page.
But I know you're thinking about it, eh?
No.
I know you're good, Richard. I know you're long. I know you're thinking about it.
Nope.
All right. So those are the votes I have. And Sandra, thanks for confirming it is you. Thanks for joining the absolute best show on radio.
All right, let's see what I can tell you about the people on the WhatsApp this morning. Where is it all started? Okay, so we're starting with Brenda, who says yes. Joanne says yes. Frank says yes. Raymond says yes. Captain Ron says yes. Debbie says yes. Kurt says yes. Pauline says no. Natashlin, okay, Natashlin says yes. Peter says no. Judith says yes. And Sean says, as in Sean Ram says no.
All right. So those are our votes. I didn't get any more.
All right. So 53 people on the poll this morning who took part, and 50 of you said, what did I say, 53, right?
You said 53.
Right, okay, good. Right, 50 of you said yes, and 3 of you said no.
All right. Melchizedek came in with a late yes there, but the majority says Wayne Stage should go. I don't see that happening. I don't see anybody being fired in this government, honestly. I don't.
Was it
real bad?
What's the charge? Why? What's the charge with him?
Well, let's go down the road. If you want to go from that rabbit hole, let's go down the road with politicians who have cavorted with people that were considered sketchy by the rest of the Trinidad and Tobago public.
Mm-hmm.
Is Wayne Stage really the only one?
No, he's not.
Nope.
He's not the first, and he won't be the last.
Nope.
Because politicians always say, but there are people in my community. I can't tell them no. I can't refuse them. Politicians will always give you that answer, Richard.
No.
You understand?
They even get invited to functions.
Yeah.
But what's the interesting thing? As you said, sketchy. Because the gentleman that we're talking about, they have as this subject that is sketchy. This is the same person that people were saying that police locking up people under the SOE and not charging them, and innocent people and all different kinds of things. Nobody knew anything about the gentleman until he died, and all those things. Yeah. So I don't know how we just all of a sudden placing the man as sketchy.
Well, in communities, if it is in whatever community across Trinidad and Tobago, the people in the community always know on a certain level who is sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using the word sketchy to be very broad in terms of certain activities that go on. In fact, people will say, yeah, I hear he's a killer, he's a shooter. Yeah, they will have things that they say in communities. Yeah, that one selling drugs, that one. All communities across Trinidad and Tobago have people that you suspect of certain things. Now, it doesn't meet the standard of maybe an arrestable offense because you need evidence. And we are a community that has mind other people's business and talk. That's what we are. So people say those things, and who are the community leaders, inverted commas, the people who are doing X or doing Y, inverted commas, and the police being part of the community would be aware. So that's when I say sketchy. I mean, even when you had the Abu Bakr issue, you don't get more sketchy than that. Attempted coup of 1990.
Mm-hmm.
How much sketchier can get than that, Sir Charles?
Yeah, well, in that situation, but what I'm saying is that this is an individual that nobody knew anything about. We weren't hearing anything about anybody being sketchy.
So Charles, you just say what Richard said?
Sir Charles,
yeah, in the community.
I remember Wendell said right here that he didn't know anything about the man.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, and we didn't even know he was the owner of the business, DG Homes and all those.
The whole point I'm making that communities generally will talk and know.
Yeah.
So you will not know who is the sketch. You, Sir Charles, wouldn't know who are the sketchy people in Princestown. But people in Princestown will know who they are.
Yeah.
I just find it kind of strange that all of a sudden, no,
it's not. It's not all of a sudden, Sir Charles. It was known without us getting into those stories at the time. It was reported that he was the one who was detained under the SOE because of issuing death threats to Minister Sturgeon. Not so?
Yeah,
that was reported,
Yeah.
In the newspapers, But nobody took it on because nobody knew who he was. In other words, we didn't really know. But as Richard said, the communities knew.
Yeah.
Then we heard.
But what I'm saying is that with that situation, because we didn't even know really and truly what was the nature, if it was basically just so, or if it was because of maybe some other business deal that may have gone bad or something else, you understand?
Well, we didn't follow up on it.
We have no idea.
but it was being reported, and a lot of social media had a lot of these stories. You understand? But we didn't really follow it because I mean, you didn't think when those stories came out at the time that it will end here. Who was thinking that this man, whoever Danny Guerra was, you understand, would end up being, because he was released prior to the state of emergency coming to an end.
Yeah, and not charged for anything.
Yeah.
Remember, the police pick you up for whatever reason. Suppose it was, and the other case it might have been an extortion. So the man is a prominent businessman, owned whatever it is. And people feel that you should do so. It could be almost anything because the man was not charged.
You're not listening to me, you know.
Go ahead.
The reports were all over social media about what he was involved in, who he assisted in. Videos came out of him and Wayne Sturge dancing. Nobody denied that.
Well, that's the only one I saw. The one with him and Mr. Sturge.
Right. So they showed you him as a prominent part of Wayne Sturge's campaign. That's undeniable. We can't don't mince words here. Those things are undeniable. But as I say, our show didn't really follow that story. But look at where that story has ended. It has ended in Danny Guerra being murdered. We saw that on video too. You understand? And then somebody who worked for him, now it may be a pure coincidence that this other person was murdered, but this other person was also detained under the SOE. So there is a link somewhere.
Yeah, but remember, I am just going on people's assumption that the police has been only picking up one set of people, innocent people, charging them and not charging them and just holding them for what other suspicions and after letting them go. No charge.
All right, you ain't going to disturb my weekend. Let's take calls.
Let's take
calls.
You know, there's there's another businessman right now that is going to be charged, and he too had arrangements and dealings with a former prime minister also. All right, okay.
But that's what Richard said earlier on. He's not the first one, and I said he's not going to be the last because politicians always have a reason why they have to engage people in the community. You know, some of them have no choice. Some of them have been able to stay far from them, but some have no choice. And some make it public and some don't. You know, that's the nature of human existence.
Yeah.
Like, I get somebody to cook curry for me last weekend. I need them to cook provision this weekend. So you ain't gonna spoil that. Go ahead. Take some calls.
All right, people, the lines open. We're taking your calls to 811-315-299-5156. Good morning to you. What happened there?
What do you do there?
No, I ain't doing nothing. They call up.
Tell somebody say if they feel you're born to be a priest.
Yeah, why the life is strange, you know. Life is very, very strange, you know, sir.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know Danny Guerra. As I say, I operated out of Sangre Grande, but that's a long time since the Boyne's days. So maybe he wasn't around then, or maybe he wasn't whoever he is now, because I never heard of DG Holmes prior to all this story breaking. You just didn't pay attention to it, you know?
No, it's been there. It's been one of the home construction companies that I have been watching over the years for very quietly. I didn't know anything about the individual either, but I heard because of hearing them advertising over time and homes for sale and all different kinds of things like that. You know, but that's all I basically knew of it.
Yeah.
But now, all of a sudden you're hearing all kinds of things, and it looks like, things are just tumbling in all different directions now, you know?
Well, it's also reported, and I have not seen a denial, that Mr. Sturge was also his attorney prior to him coming into politics. You know, so
Yeah.
there's clearly a link. I don't know where the link goes.
Yeah, because I mean, people will have, you know, I mean, because, and especially if you might be from that area, you can have all different kinds of the links.
Well, Serge not from Gandhi's two chats.
Okay. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
So, Charles, where you living?
You-
So, Charles, these... let me tell you something.
You're going on assumptions.
Ever since I'm growing up in Diego Martin, going secondary school, we used to hear who selling the drugs up in Cobine Road. These at Bungie sang, the ground is carried to Charles. So little youth men in a neighborhood could tell you who the drug man is. I mean, come on. Let me tell you something. I refused to vote on the poll this morning. You know why? I didn't want to waste my vote. The Prime Minister not moving Wayne Sturge at all. She not moving him. None of she minister, she ain't want change go fire. She did come out and grand charge and go bust all your head and everything. Old talk, etc. Wrong grand charge talk. Yeah? Until this man, etc. rum shop talk. She ain't moving Wayne Sturge. All your face, don't waste all your time now. That ain't happening.
All right, okay.
I am of a similar belief that I think Mrs. Prasad, this Prime Minister, this wrongs, Kamala 2.0, she's not going to get rid of anybody. She's something she's just going to dismiss, something she will address frontally, like how she tell people stay in the lane. Well, now they're all over the damn place. They're all down cliff, precipice, all kind of thing. So even that stay in the lane statement concerning one of them ain't make a difference. So, but I think she decides she's going to be, this is her last hurrah, and she's going to do it the way she wants to do it.
Yeah.
And
Well, at this particular junction, I really don't see her doing that. I think a lot more will have to come out of that, where that is concerned, and especially when the police had to come with plenty more than that. The person has not been charged, and now the person died, and all those, so that just reach a dead end right there, right now.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning. All right. Mr. Riemann, jump off, man. Hola, good morning to you. Virginia.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't call all you by name because I know all the listening.
Norfolk, Virginia, front and center. Good morning. Wendell, behave yourself now. Why are you trying to I said yes to the poll, and why are you trying to give people the impression I'm a UNC boy?
I was just surprised you say yes, that's all.
You're surprised? But why are you surprised? I just voted yes.
Listen, I get to know everybody, almost everybody now on this chat and on the calls. I know what they think, I know how they think. I know when they're going to say what or when
and who and what they support.
In the chat, have you seen where I said, and hear carefully my words, when the current UNC leadership and PNM leadership wins, nobody wins but the super fans.
I've seen that.
And
I've seen that statement from
in this digital age, you can't, you can't get away from whatever you say or do or whatever, right? But anyway, look, you bring up a very, very good topic, and look, one of the people that get on before people say I try to hug it. I know 98%, you see I use the number, 98% of the people and the folks here may not agree with my perspective on stuff, but you bring up something very interesting in relation to reparations. And maybe if it's not doing that today, that's fine, right? I don't want to take up too much time. I will just give you bullet points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All I will say to you, gentlemen, before I leave you, you ever get the opportunity, look up the name Thomas Sowell, Sowell, one of the greatest intellectual black men minds that we have in this world today. Okay, and he gives a very good synopsis on anything relating to race, relating to reparations and relating to the United Nations. Okay, and for all of you here, you know the UN, and usually I say the UN stands for usually nothing useful, right? They have gone far from where they were. Okay, and you see when the Prime Minister keep, you know, and all her proxies keep talking about Trinidad being on the UN Security Council, you all know the permanent members, that is just window dressing. But on top of that, look, when you have places like Iran serving on the UN Commission on the Status of Women, I mean, come on, that is a joke. Beautiful young woman just got executed, and you see it there, fashion model, everything. And on top of that, they're members of the wrestling team, okay? Sudan, serving on the Human Rights Council. Syria, serving on another council, which I can't pull to mind right now, okay? But there are many others, right? The UN
So are you saying that they should not be there? That's what you said? They have no right to be there? Yes.
This is not just me saying this.
No.
Human rights watchdog groups such as not only UN Watch, Amnesty International, and others, right? And they have the data, they have their receipts. And speaking about receipts, such as I sent you something, I know you got a chance to see it. In relation to when I come to the table, I bring my receipts, right?
All right.
But I just share that. And one more thing, two quotations here. I am not like the previous occupier of the Oval Office, right? A plagiarist, right? I'm giving you directly the words from Thomas Sowell, Professor Thomas Sowell. He says racism is but it is on life support, kept alive by politicians, race hustlers, and people who get a sense of superiority by denouncing others as racist. And on the UN, he's quoted here, Thomas Sowell, making other people's decisions for them without being accountable for the consequences is the left's vision of many different contexts, including outsourcing our foreign policy to the United Nations or to the International Court of Justice, whom nobody in every country, nobody elected, and whom nobody can hold accountable.
All right, but we're gonna set aside our program to deal with that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your ideological slant. And the UN might be, the UN has problems, but the UN's problems are made up of the people who make up the UN, which are the countries that make up the UN. So the UN is only as effective as the countries that make up the UN want it to be effective. That's the reality. But has the UN done some good? Of course it has. In terms of world disasters, in terms of coordinating assistance for countries that go on behind the scenes, in terms of children's welfare across the planet, they do a lot of good stuff. But compartmentalizing it and broad brushing it with a statement is talking from the Republican and Trump playbook. So let's not mince matters here. The UN may not be as effective in many ways that it should be, and in terms of the decisiveness that they need to make decisions, but that's as a result of the countries that occupy it. So all countries are culpable in that, and especially those that make up the Security Council, who veto every goddamn thing. And that retards the efficacy of the United Nations. But in spite of that, they're important in terms of connecting us globally and raising issues globally, and they're an important part of human civilization post-World War II. And any talking points from the Republican Party is not going to minimize that for the other 8 billion people that make up this planet.
Yeah.
So get that out of the window.
That is well up that window. Hold on there. Caller, good morning to you.
Morning, gentlemen. I want to agree with Richards, but I would like to comment on that, but it will take me away from what you
want to comment on. So no problem. Go ahead.
So while I agree that you stated earlier in terms of politicians may be affiliated with shady characters within their community, remember they are serving within their community. They have various persons that of questionable character, right? And however, what differs in this instance is whereby you have that link in terms of the persons contributing towards your campaign, right? and the circumstances that evolve thereafter, where you associate those persons with questionable and serious allegations.
Hold on 1 minute there, caller. Where has that you just said been proven that he has contributed, or that's just word of mouth?
No, I'm saying that what I'm getting to, there are allegations that are made towards the person's contributions, right? And one cannot deny, if it is that you are going back to the campaign period where questions were answered by these characters, where you see the persons affiliated and dancing and they are promoted, even from the residents within San Grande. If you could go back within the records and the media itself to demonstrate that, one cannot deny that. Those are facts.
Yeah, but you can't tell us the fact as to where you saw that, read that that he has finance. Has the minister himself also come out and say, well, yes, he has financed me or whatever? I trying to
know what I am saying now. There are allegations made whereby the person made contributions towards his campaign fund, and persons have been asked him to refute or confirm, and they have been elusive to this point.
Yeah, he hasn't denied it, Sir Charles. That's the point the caller making. This is what I made earlier on.
Yeah, but
I made earlier on.
Yeah.
Right, and what I'm saying is that leading up to the elections, general elections last year, there were questionable characters associated, even video footage of the persons campaigning on the platform.
Yeah, but right? that is a norm across the board. That is a norm across the board with a lot of with all the parties. Yeah.
Why you say it's a norm across the board?
With questionable characters
affiliated with gangs, directly campaigning with politicians.
You feel if you're not associated with certain people, you could walk in some areas in this country to go and campaign?
No,
Charles, you buttressing the man point now, I know.
But that's what I said. It's not if that. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, if it's to go along your line, what I'm saying is that you have a duty in questions are being raised. You have a duty to come before the public and refute it. You have a duty. In the absence of that, persons can infer that you are associated with. Yes? And if it is that that person has been your major contributor, if it's proven that person is a major contributor, and you acknowledge that person, then questions have to be raised. And even within the elections, in terms of contributions, some persons on the elections and boundaries, the lost Mutonyo, right? There are things that can be raised on that aspect. So there are questions that have to be answered. We cannot treat this and just let's move on.
All right, okay.
On the Ministry of National Security Council.
Yeah. All right, Kola, thanks.
I think the ultimate thing that is being discussed here, I think what is being discussed is whether there is some moral compass that guides personal integrity in terms of putting yourself up for office, one, and two, a party considering you for office in terms of whatever dealings you've had with other people. Now, these people, to be fair to them, to be fair to some of them, and I'm talking broadly here, may not have any criminal convictions. They may just be allegations in terms of impropriety, but they have nothing substantive aligned against them from a court point of view or from a police charge point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So you are perfectly in your right to say, well, they are not charged with anything. So, and they are merely a contributor, like 5,000 people contributed, and they're one of the 5,000. You can mean.
Richard, your internet, we're losing you.
Yeah,
like
well,
you're passing by the jail.
You can't do that now about that.
You must be passing by the jail.
Yeah, passing by the jail. Okay, well, maybe when he comes, let's say he call by the time he gets back inside.
But the deeper question. Hello, sorry, you don't hear me, right?
We didn't hear you for a little while there.
Yeah,
we hear you now.
Richard?
Nah, he by the jail.
Richard, when you come back in, hold on, let's say we'll continue after the call. Richard, hold on, right?
Yeah.
Caller, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Captain Ron.
Yes. First of all, Richard, I really applaud you again for how you handled that, for what you said about the UN. I was just going to say the same thing, word for word. Right? We tend to feel that everything but the UN is correct. No. They have a lot of faults as well. So, Charles, I agree with the person who said that you should be a priest. I think you should be a priest.
Well, no problem. That might be the next calling.
I think that should be a problem, because what the last caller is saying is basically he's accurate. And what I've been following up on, there are things I know you can't say on the radio, but there are things I don't even want to say as well. But for what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing, is basically, I personally know Danny Guerra. I know him from small. So his uncle, Theodore Guerra, was engaged to my aunt. So I know him from a very long time. All right? And from what I've been hearing and what we've been seeing, and the kind of searches have been going on, and harassment and torture from police officers hiding their faces. Somebody in Trinidad feels that they're above the law. You tranquilizing dogs, which that doesn't sound like regular bandit won't tranquilize dogs. Those are some high class people there above the law who have access to a lot of things. And in reality, we have to call it a spade, and that you can't be afraid to say it. I mean, the truth is the truth. And we need to wake up and see what's going on. They need to move that guy. And I was one of them who voted yes this morning. That guy knows much more, and he might, and allegedly, let me say it this way, he is responsible. And the police officers who are hiding their faces, who are going and harass people, they know who it is. They know who's paying them. They know who's paying them. So the commissioner of police needs to get off his high horse and start looking for these people. Because that means you could kill anybody at free will in Trinidad. If you're in government, this thing is like a movie. It's like a movie going on. You're watching from outside here in little Trinidad and Tobago. Anyway, you all have a good weekend and be safe down there.
Yeah, okay, cool, no problem.
It is worrisome. I mean, let's not hide or put our heads down in the sand. It is worrisome when you make the connections based on allegations, but also based on clear video evidence and so on. When you make those connections, it is worrying. It is worrying. But
you know what, Wendell, and that's the point I was trying to make. Moral compass and leadership. Mm-hmm. Is there some sort of synergistic intersect that it's important, or in 2026 is it not important? Mm-hmm. Because if you look at globally, and let's look at the United States, you have all sorts of things. For example, President Trump was convicted. President Trump may have certain things to answer with regard to Jeffrey Epstein and the Jeffrey Epstein files. But he is still loved by millions, and he is still electable because he is president of the United States. So that issue of moral compass and leadership, how important is it for voters and for people in terms of going up to office? And that now comes to country, and what is the meritocracy in a country, and what are the matrix points for determining that somebody's qualified for leadership? Do we have a standard? Do we? Since 1962, do we have a standard that we hold ourselves and our leaders accountable in terms of the decisions they make? Are they grilled by any independent committee about, we see your decision in X, or we see what you've done in Y, or we see that you voted in this, or we see that you were at X or Y, and how do you explain this? Do we do things like this? No, we don't. So you get the leaders and the system that one, you voted for, and I mean, we are a relatively young country, I mean, with only independence since 1962. So all these discussions of leadership is part of the evolution of this country as we grow and mature. And we have to decide whether we figure X is acceptable or Y is acceptable or not. And it comes back to leadership.
in putting in systems that curtail or enhance meritocracy in terms of people being aspirational to leadership positions.
And that's not happening.
Richard, you open the door for me to again say that we have had an issue with Dr. Rowley's style for the 9.5 years that he led this country. We had an issue with it. It was abrasive, it was aggressive, it was bold, it was, And we also have a problem with Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessa's style, because clearly she is doing things her way and aligning herself with the U.S. government and with the same U.S. president that you just spoke about. So maybe we need a calming influence in this place. Somebody who is not, how I should put it, mad and all this noise and all this heavy politicking. Except that she has also surrounded herself with some people who I don't think would do her any good, So maybe she needs to check on who she has around. And I'm speaking specifically about Penelope Beckles here. You understand? And try to change this place. Of course, she'll have to wait a turn. Hopefully, she survives. You know what I mean? But
turbulence coming in.
We can't continue going the way we're going now. Come on.
All right, hold on right there, Wendell. Caller, good morning.
Gentlemen, I just want to put my 2 cents worth into this thing. And I want to make it clear. I am not connected to any one of these 2 parties involved in this discussion. I want to just to inform a couple of the callers about something that I witnessed. They're talking about questionable characters where government people are concerned, right? Or ministers are concerned. Let's put it that way. The 1986 general election campaigning, there was a lady called Muriel McDonough Davidson. And during her campaign, there was a particular gentleman that was at the head of a motorcade everywhere the motorcade went. That character had 36 previous convictions up to that time. You hear what I said? I said convictions. Okay? Mm-hmm. So when we're talking, we must be fair in how we're talking. All right? No one question her after, because at that time, the level of the fanaticism was so high that at that time nobody questioned anybody about anything. And I witnessed that and I just shook my head. And let me just add.
Caller, could you just remind us again, what seat did she contest then? Because it was she, Morris Marshall, and Patrick Manning who won, right? What was her seat again?
Why are we talking about? Just remind me of the question again. What
was the seat she won then? Somehow did I have run a blank on it.
Bossman, sir, I can't remember what.
You can't remember it. That's all right. That's okay. We'll Google it and find out. But you go ahead with it.
Somebody's going to put it in the chat. Somebody's going to put it in the chat. But Patrick Manning was San Fernando East. Morris Marshall was Laventille West, I think, or some one of those Laventille seats. And Laventille East Mova, I think. But was she Faizabad? No, I don't think it was.
All right. Hold on right there. I didn't want to finish up here before we go.
It would have been Laventille.
It's a Laventille seat too? Okay, all right, okay, good. Thanks.
Laventille seat.
All right.
And I just want to remind folks of something else. When Mr. Manning met with gang leaders and renamed them, and the media went along with that, calling them community leaders, when everybody who on the ground in Trinidad and Tobago knew who these people were, including another Gera, okay? When he met with these persons, and then all of these persons were eventually made millionaires, okay, with the contracts that they got and whatnot. There was a killing spree that took place after that. Why weren't questions asked about that as much as questions are being asked now? That's all I have to say. I'm not defending, I'm not protecting. But I'm just saying that we must be fair when we're speaking about certain things. We mustn't act as if this only happens on one side. Trinidad and Tobago is a rotten country from way, way back. And we must admit that. And if we were admitting that enough from since in the 60s, we would not have been where we are.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I said it before and I'll say it again. All of us who continue to praise this Ballet government and that first leader we had who destroyed.
All right, caller, let me save you from myself. We're going down the road here. We're going to the news at 8 o'clock. And come back and we'll continue to take your calls on the other side. Anything else you want to add before we go to quick lines?
No, just that we will listen, but you're right to stop him. That the direction he was going just now.
Yeah, I don't want to get reckless. You know, we're coming back.
Why anytime?
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Gaio Caribbean TV for Friday, the 27th of March. I'm Derek McMillan. Thank you so much for joining us. Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur says government has no plans to raise fuel prices despite rising global costs linked to tensions in the Middle East. Speaking at a TTMA event, Thakur acknowledged that oil and shipping prices have increased, raising costs for the country, which imports a portion of its fuel. However, he described the situation as a mixed blessing, noting that higher energy prices could also boost revenue from local production. Thakur said the government must balance rising costs with increased earnings, but assured that fuel prices locally will remain unchanged for now. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Muniwal also noted that higher global LNG prices could benefit Trinidad and Tobago's export earnings. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles has strongly criticized Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar over her latest stance on CARICOM. In a statement, Beckles condemned the Prime Minister's opposition to the reappointment of CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett and plans to reduce Trinidad and Tobago's financial contribution to the regional body. She warned the move could harm trade and negatively impact citizens, noting CARICOM as a major market for local goods and services. Beckles also described the Prime Minister's actions as irresponsible and said they raise serious concerns about her leadership. A 73-year-old woman abducted from her San Juan home has been rescued by the Coast Guard, with 7 men arrested in connection with the incident. Police say Tara Pulaya was taken around 7:30 p.m. for her Don Miguel Road home by 3 men and forced into a vehicle in an attack partially captured on CCTV. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara says the incident triggered a multi-agency response after intelligence suggested the suspects planned to take her out of the country. Around midnight, Pulaya was reportedly placed on a boat off Trinidad's north coast, allegedly bound for Venezuela. However, Coast Guard officers intercepted the vessel, rescued her, and detained the suspects. Police say the arrests have disrupted what they believe is a cross-border kidnapping network linked to Venezuela. Meanwhile, investigations continue into the separate kidnapping of Cody Narain, who remains missing. Businessman Dominic Hadid has criticized government tax policies, saying the state takes a large share of business earnings without enough support in return. Speaking at a TTMA event, Hadid argued that rising taxes and delayed VAT refunds are hurting companies and may be encouraging smuggling instead of increasing revenue. He called for greater collaboration, urging government to work with businesses to grow the economy. Planning Minister Kennedy Swartzing said the concerns were fair, but noted government must fund key services, while Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur stressed that public spending requires revenue and reforms will take time. In the region, a United States military operation targeting suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean has left 4 men dead. U.S. Southern Command says the strike was carried out by Joint Task Force Southern Spear against a vessel along a known narcotics route, describing it as a lethal kinetic strike. Officials say intelligence linked the vessel to what they called designated terrorist organizations and confirmed that 4 suspected traffickers were killed. No U.S. personnel were injured. The exact location of the operation has not been disclosed. The development comes weeks after the launch of a regional counter-cartel initiative, which includes Trinidad and Tobago, signaling a more aggressive approach to drug trafficking in the region. In international news, U.S. stocks have fallen again as investor concerns deepen over the ongoing war and renewed pressure on major tech companies. The Nasdaq Composite dropped about 2.4%, pushing it into correction territory, now down roughly 11% from its recent high. The S&P 500 declined 1.7%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell around 1%. Technology stocks led the sell-off, with shares in Meta Platforms sliding after back-to-back U.S. court rulings against the company, adding to broader investor jitters. Oil prices, which had surged amid fears of supply disruptions, eased slightly after Donald Trump announced a delay on potential strikes against Iranian energy facilities until April 6th. The move, tied to ongoing talks between Washington and Tehran, offered some relief to markets, though uncertainty over the conflict continues to weigh on global investor sentiment. And that is news at this time. Stay with us for more great programming right after the break.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Now, due to phenomenal public demand, Scandal in Cedros now comes to Cipriani College for 2 nights only. Saturday the 28th of March at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 29th at 6:30 p.m. This is theater at its finest and funniest. Don't miss it. Box office opens at Cipriani College on Monday the 23rd of March, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Cedros, Cipriani College, we come in.
Scandal in Cedros. Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Have you all seen the meme of Donald Trump being questioned by a psychiatrist, asking him, the people you say you are talking to in Iran, are they in the room with us now? I find that so funny.
Wow. Yeah,
like America, I don't know, the world is on show, you know. Richard is a theater, you know. The world is a theater, you know.
But right now, I mean, yesterday they had the Homeland Security Minister all over the place here too. Yeah. About we just saw with him. Boy, sometimes it's good just to stay out of public life.
Boy, you telling me?
Boy.
You telling me?
Click your link and click direction.
All right, Richard.
Yeah, you hear me?
You're tutoring somebody apparently. Click the link and click directions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll be hearing everything you're saying, eh?
Yeah, so be careful.
Just remember, Mrs. R is also listening, eh? No, she is.
When you're on air and you're live, all kind of thing that's passing the back of your.
Mrs. R, don't say anything, eh? Mrs. R, don't say anything.
So Charles,
passing the back of you.
Yesterday, I actually had an interesting conversation with Brian Manning after the show yesterday. I had an interesting conversation with him.
Oh Lord!
But that has happened to so many people who are using their devices at home. Yes, I remember that infamous one with the person when the little child ran in the room and the housekeeper came in, stooped down and crawled to pick up the child.
You tried that?
Yeah? No.
Oh.
Gosh, who that was, Richard? Again, you remember?
I can't remember. It was an interview on. I can't remember. He was an expert on something. I can't remember what it was. But it's an American interview, wasn't it? Wasn't it on
yes,
CNN?
Yes, it was an American interview. Yes.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
It was somebody who was in government, some official. And he was doing an interview, of course, just during the COVID time, I think, because that's when everybody went to online interviews. And
the little girl came dancing into the room. It was very cute, though.
It was. And the Asian housekeeper, I mean, she was mortified when she came and take the child away.
No, that wasn't the housekeeper, sir. That was his wife.
That was his wife? Oh!
Yes! And people were saying she was a housekeeper, and he had to say, "No, that's my wife." And they had a discussion. That fueled another discussion because she was Asian. People thought she was a housekeeper, and she was not.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah, when you're doing live shows, something, you have to make sure you have a space set aside for that. You tell everybody in the house, when I see me on my laptop down here, I'm talking to people on the radio, on the TV, on the internet, because all kind of things could happen.
And you know what else is happening, Sir Charles? That's very important. Is that Scandal in Cedros is happening this weekend, Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. And of course, you should get your tickets. Well, I think they have a few general tickets left. I don't think there are any reserve tickets left at all in any outlet anywhere. Subject to correction, maybe there's one circulating somewhere in an outlet, but as far as I know, all reserve tickets have been sold out. So you can only get general tickets now, and the best place probably to get them is probably going to be at the box office. And they have a few left, I believe. So if you're looking to come to the show on Saturday night or Sunday, you need to get your tickets. Of course, tickets available at the Cipriani College box office, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, at the usual outlets, K-Squared Fashions, West Mall, Brentwood Mall, Chagonas, Eastgate, Electronics in Arima, Jabili Rawe in Tunapuna, and Tony's Florals in Bar Park Shopping Plaza, and Shafler Auto Services in Shafler. So, of course, you should call those outlets before to make sure they still have tickets, because I know some of them are basically sold out. So get your tickets early. Scandal in Cedros, we are on. And of course, today is World Theatre Day, so happy World Theatre Day again. And we are on for theatre this weekend, a nice long weekend. So you could come to the play Saturday or Sunday, and you could go liming after you come to the play on Sunday, because you have a holiday on Monday.
All right.
We doing radio on Monday, Richard?
Huh?
We are doing radio on Monday morning.
Okay, good luck with that.
And speaking of radio, let me say good morning to Selma out there in Mova. Selma says that she's now getting the opportunity to join us this morning because her grandson is on holidays. So she's probably on the road most of the morning. So she picks us up probably on YouTube later on in the day. She says the neighbors have to be wondering what is going on with her. She's making all this other noise, having us a fun time with us. You know, so good morning, Selma, and welcome. And I saw somebody else also and was saying almost the same thing on. They listen to us on Gaia.
But yeah. I watched over the show yesterday for obvious reasons because.
Yeah. And you watched it again and again.
I wanted to see that incident with
You
Brian.
are disgusting. You are disgusting. That is what you are.
But I must admit, it was a nice picture.
Sir Charles,
oh my God, so Sir Charles, you are equally reprehensible.
It was.
You are equally reprehensible.
You know what? I'm surprised with our very observant people. Nobody said anything on the chat.
You're sending back everybody.
Really good,
Yes,
you know, and
let's
they-
leave it so,
nobody said
please.
anything.
Leave it so. Leave it so.
Do not pinpoint the area when let's leave it so.
No. Let them go back and watch over the show.
Yeah, but it was a nice view. I must
Anyway, take some calls before you get in trouble again. You already have people flying hither, thither, and yon.
Yeah. That is all right. You know what? I can stop to that. Dominique, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Richard and Wendell. Good morning, Richard.
Morning.
Good morning.
Nice supposed to come to the show, but my friend, a good friend, she has something with her son in her school because we normally go to the plays together. So we are going to wait till we return at Cipriani sometime next 3 months, I hope, right? Before August holidays anyway. So we could get to see.
Yeah. All right, cool.
And then some other bacchanal go happen in my life and he'll do an next play. Trust me. My life full of bacchanal, you know.
So, Charles, so on the topic of Danny Guerra, a week ago on CNC3 News in the night, John Hayes, I think it was, he was interviewing one of Danny Guerra's friends, being an adult. He's the president of the aggregate something, right? And he was speaking about is Danny, right? And so Charles, he said that Mr. Guerra was involved in the campaign with Choco Sanigrandi because he said at one point the campaign was going good and it was getting so close to the elections. And somebody said, okay, let's talk to this gentleman. And they brought him in. He said the minute he got on board, things swung the way they wanted to, right? I call him names, right? And he brought in a lot of youth. He said it was good. And he said after that, crowd after crowd, right? So elections come and the man win it. The MP there won it. The reporter asked him if he thought that Mr. Guerra wanted anything, as he was helpful. You know what he said? He would have been stupid not to want anything or not to ask for anything. In fact, he said he would have been stupid not to ask for anything. And for me, that said a lot. So we don't know nothing because we're not living in the area. This is his friend who is speaking. And if it is his friend, we have to take for what he said as the truth. And I believe that Mr. Sturge should step down. Just because I find it has been compromised. I find so. But of course, we know that ain't going to happen because it has worse things than that. And this Prime Minister ain't going to fire nobody at all. And the next point is this. So the new thing with the refinery. You all remember when Kevin Ramnarine was given the assignment to look into the refinery and see how feasible it was? You all remember that?
Yeah.
Right. The junior minister for the energy, Keisha. I can't remember this one name.
Inessa Keza.
Right. I saw that. He said that the report is in and it will be taken to the cabinet to see what they will do. Since that, I haven't heard a word. So, and then, in fact, he was also saying that it was good news, and he was talking to some people in it's quite funny picture as well. He said it was good news, and the report will soon be taken before cabinet. And now we are hearing that they call them patriotic people, the OWTU/patriotic. They have engaged the services of an Italian firm to go and take another look into the refinery to see how strategic it is to be reopened. How much? I mean, I know it's not my money. It may not be my money, but what they only looking. So what? By the time they don't look, it's on a refinery again. Everything is just rust and iron. So I just feel this is a ploy because this government promised that they'll get a refinery up and running, and they can't do that yet after yet. They didn't have a clue, and nobody has a clue as to know what is going to take place. So, a set of gimmicks, and more gimmicks. So you all have a wonderful long weekend. I'm back with you all on Tuesday.
All right, take care, Miss Mendoza. What's the comment on this series that I've been watching too called Beauty in Black? I don't know if you guys have ever watched it, right? But they completed season 2 recently, right? With I think about 8 or so episodes. They showed it. That series just deteriorated into a rubbish. I'm sorry to say that way. People might disagree with me because they like Baccarat, but that is the most like everybody needs to cuss one another and outdo one another with the debauchery. But it just deteriorated into rubbish. Beauty in Black, Tyler Perry, like you just tell people do what they want down in the end. Say what you want, do what you want, and I will film it. Rubbish.
All right, going back to the line. Squaller, good morning to you.
Good morning again, gentlemen. I called back because I'm curious. You all said that you all had to stop me from going, and what exactly, I would like to find out, what exactly did you all stop me from doing? Could you all enlighten me, please?
You call back for that? We have to go for the news.
If you want
to go for the news, that's why we stop here.
Yeah, we was going to news, but if you want to finish your point, go ahead. Finish.
No, he don't need to finish up, Sir Charles.
It sounded to me as if you all were trying to say that I was going in a direction that was so wrong or so whatever. So I was like, okay.
All right, let me tell you what it is, what you were doing. And a lot of people commented on it on the chat. You were trying to justify saying that all of them is the same, and when somebody said, when are we going to stop? Let me finish now. You asked me why. I mean, we actually stopped here for the news, but I'm telling you what other people said. They said you were going down the road. You listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening, sir.
Right. I knew where we were heading with that caller. Quick to say he was not defending, but I picked up his bias earlier. One person said that. Hold on, let me finish. Another person said, when are we going to stop this them do it to culture? Right? So because that's how it was coming across. But we have to go for the news. So that's it. That's all.
Right.
We welcome your contribution nonetheless.
Let me just clarify something. I brought up a couple issues to show people, all right, that I am listening to them speaking and I can discern what side they are on. So I called to show them that let's not act as if it's just about this side, but it's something that was started years before by the other side.
But we said that.
Yeah, but we got that point. Yeah, we got that.
And then I went on to say that Trinidad has been rotten for way too long. And so I don't see how that could mean that I am trying to show that, well, I'm defending this side.
No, it was no defense. It wasn't. Yeah, we never felt that you were defending anybody. Right?
Except that if you were listening to us this morning, you would have heard us talk, and Richard specifically, about plenty politicians have done it before. And I said it's going to happen again.
And I started to say that Trinidad has been rotten for too long, and we have sat down as citizens and accepted too much, and especially when it's our side. And that is what is killing this country, our side.
Yeah.
And I was going to say where that mentality started, and that is when, well, as you said, it's the news. And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say where it started, and the person who started it, we continue to see that person as a hero. That's what I was going to say. And I hope both of us I hope the listeners understand that. But I listen to this program often on, and in my opinion, I understand the thinking of most of the callers. So that's why I felt I had to call and say what I had to say. And let me just end by saying this, Richard and Wendell. I used to listen to one or two regular. All right? And there's a gentleman, deceased now, called Dr. Morgan Job. He was hated by a lot of people. But Dr. Morgan spoke truth that Trinidadians were just not ready to use. Because his words
so true.
ringing. And like a lot of us have not and will not learn. And I end there.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kola.
Take care.
That's one thing for sure that you said about Dr. Morgan Job. A lot of people.
At one time, I used to tell Dr. Job, you used to come across like you hate yourself, though. Eh? I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like him, but sometimes he used to describe himself in derogatory names. And I said, Dr. Job, how could you say that about yourself? You know what I mean? Don't say that, you know. But God rest his soul. I mean, I had the pleasure. We had the pleasure of working with him. We didn't always agree, but still we learned a lot. I learned a lot from him, you know.
Yeah. All right, people. So we continue to take the call. Something I was going to tell you all about Dr. Job. I think a lot of people accepted Dr. Morgan's Job messages and what he was actually trying to say after he had gone.
Yeah.
Because and it just really goes back to your delivery and how you're trying to get the message across. Mm-hmm. And if you're trying to, the message could be a good message. If you're trying to get it across in a particular way, nobody will listen.
And we used to have that argument all the time.
Yeah, I think that was
and I used to have that argument. I said, Dr. Job, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it.
Yeah.
The same people you want to listen to you and learn from you, you are insulting them sometimes. You know what I mean? You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. So we used to have that fallout all the time.
Yeah.
But
So
Dr. Job got to understand me. I got to understand him. So much so, I always tell people I had the pleasure of I went to Tobago to attend his father's funeral. He invited me, and he also asked me to say a few words, and he gave me that pleasure also to at the father's funeral. You know, so we didn't always agree on everything, but guess what? You know, it happens.
Good morning. Yes. Good morning, gentlemen. To Charles Richard Wendell.
Morning.
Morning.
The situation with CARICOM. When the meeting where CARICOM raises all the issues and take decisions and come to a consensus, it was a closed-door meeting where all the heads were supposed to go. Mrs. Prasad Bisesa and her foreign affairs minister left before that meeting. They did not attend that meeting.
That's correct.
So they would not have known the decision that was taken. Another foreign policy that I can't understand. How did Trinidad and Tobago and Mrs. Prasad Bisesa and the foreign affairs minister align themselves with America against Iran? All of a sudden, Trinidad and Tobago is against Iran for the stance that they take. Iran has a right to defend itself. Trinidad and Tobago did not condemn Israel with the situation. They never condemned them. And the situation with Danny Guerra in Tanigani, you said that situation could either go away or it could end up bad. One of these guys will bite the bullet and say, I am not to lose, and they're going to bring out every single thing that happened in that situation up there.
Yeah. Let's wait and see, you know. Another story that's running, folks, and we'll probably try to get the head of the Pharmaceutical Association sometime. And next week is such a short week. This story about what's happening in the Ministry of Health, where Dr. Roshan Parashram, I don't know if he's retired as CMOH or if he's just still on leave, is being asked to come before the parliamentary committee to answer questions on approvals he would have given for pharmaceuticals to be imported and so on. It's a story that's running and it's probably going to grow at some point in time. So we will try to get him. Dr. Parashram, I mean, if everybody remember him as the CMOH during the COVID pandemic, giving reports almost on a daily basis. And a lot of people, he had endeared themselves, saying they liked him. He is a likable guy. His very first interview in the media was done on the Power Breakfast Show. He came with two other guys. I don't know if Richard would remember it. Minister Dayal Singh brought him there a morning, and his first interview, he was like a deer in the headlights, Sir Charles. Like that morning. I always remember he wasn't CMOH then, but he was prominent and thing, and eventually he was appointed as CMOH, and everybody loved Dr. Parashram. You know what I mean? And now he's being put under a kind of pressure that he may not be the actual target of that pressure that they put in on.
Because it looks like it's a lot deeper than that, because like the pharmaceutical what they call them, so I don't want to grouping, whatever it is, it seems to have been things have been happening there for a long time that may not be, and I want to be careful with my words here, may not be or have been so above board. So that's not like accusing nobody of nothing. Caller, good morning. Hello, caller. Where are you? I lost you. Mr. Rima, I lost you again. I gotta call you back.
What's going on there?
Every time I put Mr. Rima inside, I lose him.
All right. People are saying he's the CMO, not CMOH. What's the difference? H is not for health. He's not chief medical officer of health. I don't know. They say maybe the handle is really CMO.
Probably the handle must stop at CMO.
The job H. Okay.
Yeah. All right, caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Three quick points. I used to listen to Dr. Morgan Joe, and initially I would agree with a lot of what he was saying. And over time, I became so offended by his manner of delivery that I sort of disliked him then, because I thought as an intellectual, he should have been in a place where he recognized that he wasn't an effective messenger, even though the message that he was bringing had a lot of salient points. Another thing too is that a caller called earlier, and he seemed to condemn the United Nations. Now, human beings are not perfect, and any organization we put together, we would carry those imperfections to the organization. But in analyzing them, we don't need to throw the baby with the bathwater. It's much like the situation now with CARICOM and Trinidad and Tobago. Sometimes we tend to be kind of insular, and we don't look at the broader picture and the bigger picture and see the benefits, so much good that could come out of it. Take, for instance, a situation where Mr. Trump would withdraw funding from the WHO. That to me is kind of unconscionable, because at the end of the day, the WHO would have done so much for humanity that even if he was correct in his analysis of vaccination, he didn't need to take a position like that. And finally, I agree with you all that in analyzing the moral situation in respect of the Minister of Defense, one shouldn't take a position that because something happened in the past, or say that it started here, or that sort of thing. We should recognize that at this juncture, particularly if you look at the poll, the moral compass in the society is such that we actually are demanding more, a higher standard, and I think that's where the focus should be. Even though we could look back and say, hey, there were errors on both sides, or errors generally in how human beings take a moral position, so that I prefer to look at the now and how it could be in the future, rather than dwell on the past. I just want to make
Caller, you put it over best, and because Richard would have also said that it is about the moral compass of politicians now. And Trinidadians, we in Trinidad and Tobago, we are demanding more now from our politicians. It's obvious. You understand? We are demanding more, and for this to be happening with Minister Sturge has to be concerning. I'm sure the Prime Minister is concerned by what she's seen and what she's hearing. I'm sure she is. But will something be done about it? We don't know. Time will tell. I doubt, but we'll see.
Yeah, really and truly. All right, let's see if we can get this gentleman coming in between here now. Mr. Patrick.
Everybody, morning.
Morning to you.
Mr. Wendell and Mr. Gerald Bassing.
Mr. Patrick, good morning.
You know, I listened to the conversation for the past weeks with this guy, Danny Guerra, right? You know, Danny Guerra have been building homes for a long while now, and selling homes. Anybody know that? GG Homes?
Well, go on back with your question. Contribute. Huh? Mr. Patrick, I tell you, you just have this uncanny way of making a contribution but asking questions. No, we don't. I don't know that Danny Guerra. I never heard of him before, honestly.
Like you said, like you didn't know the man, right?
No, I did not know him before.
The quarry issue. Where the holy man for? And see doing illegal quarrying. You know how long he quarry out there? And how long? Nice. And then we see the guy very prominent in Grandy. A lot of people in Grandy say the man was a savior to a lot of them. A lot of jobs, a lot of this, a lot of that. But it's surprising enough for the campaign, we see Mr. Gerard and Mr. Swindge hug up body partners, right? And then afterwards, when the election was won, they went and they shut down the man business in the quarry. And then the man went to court and he won a case. I think he won the state $5.7 million. Right? Then they come and lock him up again under the next SAE. And they release him. And boom, the man gets assassinated. And now they run to the man's office. The man's son had to run and hide. The man's son, wife, they're looking for shit about. The electrician who doing wine on the property, they beat up all of them and threaten to kill all of them. Something wrong, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Something definitely wrong. Mm-hmm. All that happened after the election when he and Mr. Wilson fall out. Something wrong. Right now, BG Homes office shut down partially for a while because people afraid to go and function in the office. You understand? And this man dealing with all them banks in Trinidad and Tobago with loans and mortgages. So I asked the Trinidad and Tobago government to get involved to find out what's going on. And on the partner program, Ian Allen, the people saying, family members, I think, saying the police want to kill them. So I don't know what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. I really don't know. But I pray that everything settle down and everything go nice in this country. Because right now, we're in a rock and a very hard place. I know we're doing that. A little later.
It has to be worrying. It has to be worrying. I'm sorry, and Anand, thanks for reminding me. Live Sport comes back with all the allegations and all the killings that surrounded it and all the death threats. Permanent secretaries had to, a lady from the ministry had to bust it from Trinidad. All those things were reported back then, and people pull back that story and see what we're talking about. We can't forget those things. We have a history. We remember the history with the MP for Port of Spain South and Berkey from Sealots. All those things people remember.
Yeah.
You know, and it's costing lives. People are dying. Ruth Marchand, thanks for reminding me that name. You know, she's at the high, leave Trinidad. Seek protection. You know, we don't know. Andrea, I can't answer. I don't know. I don't know the man, I'm telling you. Mr. Patrick just gave a kind of history. I don't know him at all. But he now say he won a case against the state. I didn't even know that. For illegal quarrying, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So, and I suppose, you know, I mean, with me, with some of these things, and I look at it, and there are people that we see, we hear, all manner of things, who associate themselves with politicians, political parties, funding, and all different kinds of things. I don't know if it's because of whatever it is that we are all prepared to say that, you know, Man was a big criminal, you know.
You can't say that.
But because of what is being said by certain people, it's like, you know, like the manager was one of the biggest criminals in that, whatever is the case, you know. But we had the police lock up in people, couldn't do anything, lock them up again, and all the manner of thing on the SC, and people outside, no charges, and all those different things, you know. So I don't know where we're really going with all of this, but as I said, for me personally, I don't expect anybody to step down until some other real hard evidence come forward. That's just my view on it.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that opinion at all, Sir Charles. We are one with that. I don't expect anybody to be removed or anybody to step down.
Yeah, the police have to do plenty more to bring some kind of evidence. You know, there's always have this argument between information and evidence, right? You know, but that's your life. Well, let me leave it right there for today now.
Yeah. Folks have an absolutely
it's a long weekend. Enjoy it. Remember, Elaborate Standing Network people. Remember, this is our anniversary. Monday we're celebrating our anniversary here, so you get to listen to the music line with the DJs, and you get to send in your voice notes all day and request your songs and wish everybody well. So we're looking forward to everybody. Remember, we have our new website at Net Radio, 2 T's, right? netradiott.com, and that way when we come off of the stream now, you can all can come across and hang out. RJ is in for me today. He's holding down the fort today, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning early. I am your morning man, the man in the morning.
Folks, have a wonderful holiday weekend. Be careful on the roads. Look out for the young ones, and remember to let go and let God. Baptist holiday on Monday.
Yeah.
You saw that? No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been
The Breakfast Show!
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show